You just hold his head so that he looks at you in the eye, and you look at him in his eyes, and you're climaxing with your eyes squinted. Is it squinted? Your eyes are squinted and you're looking at him, and you have your dirty old face. He's looking up. He's gonna go mad. Making eye contact is a game changer, I tell you. It's not everyone who remembers to intentionally look at their lovers in the eye during sex. Most people just get carried away or don't even know how important and emotionally connecting this can be in a committed relationship. And then this is the one that seals the deal for me. And you're not breaking the eye contact at all till he collapses over you. Do you know what that means? Try it today. For all the married people or single people, please go and be reading your Bibles. Now, if you've known me for some time now, or you've been following me, you would know how I basically emphasize on making eye contact so much when making love. It's what either creates a bond or not, and this is because eye contact during sex can make it intensely erotic and intimate, or it can feel quite awkward and weird. That is why in this video I would show you how to make eye contact with your man confidently. Are you ready? So before we start, make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed yet. Now, to some people, it's hard to maintain eye contact during conversations when they are shy, and even worse when they're engaged in intimate activities. But it is such a powerful thing to do because eye contact increases arousal. It can make an ordinary sex become extraordinary, especially when you both are intensely looking straight into your eyes during the act. Over time, researchers have been able to discover that eye contact was designed as a powerful way to send and receive social, signals. And having sex with your partner is some pretty social activity that you're having, right? It shows that you're really in the moment with your partner and that you're willing to be vulnerable. So this is how it's done. This is how you do it. Just begin with small basic eye contact skills. You don't need to jump into the deep end with intense eye contact. In fact, you might need to start by practicing eye contact outside of the bedroom before moving to intimate eye contact while you're having sex. Now, when you both are sitting opposite each other, you could just raise your gaze, to your partner's eyes briefly ever so often, but keep in mind that it's not a staring contest, okay? Now, a good rule of thumb is to look long enough to determine the person's eye color, or approximately just look for 5 seconds, because anything longer might just be too intense for some people. Now, in the case that you want to look away after making eye contact, instead of just looking down or away, just shift your gaze slightly to the person's mouth or chin. It is what I call triangle gaze or triangle rule, all right? What you do is try slowly shifting your gaze from one eye to the other instead of just staring into both of the person's eyes at the same time. Now, you could also break the eye contact in a more natural way when you're talking or nodding or just even gesticulating. It's a more natural way for you to just shift your eyes. So when you look away, do it slowly. If you really struggle with eye contact while talking, you might just start by looking at the spot between your partner's eyes. That way it seems as if you're looking at the person in their eyes. It's close and just might be a lot easier than just having a direct eye contact. Let's move on to how you could apply making eye contact during sex. Are you ready? Now, let's say that you are on top of him. Keep your gaze soft, perhaps with your eyelids slightly lowered. Now, you don't want to glare at your man. You could even hold his chin up slowly to look at him intensely while you bite your lips and squint your eyes a little bit. This has to take less than a minute to do so that you don't look awkward, or he doesn't feel like you want to charm him with something, or like you're doing some voodoo stuff with his soul by looking at him intensely like that. You know, some people can just be very wild with your imagination and what goes on in their heads. So when you establish that eye contact for a bit, just smoothly break it and do other stuff on him in bed. You can move your eyes to your man's lips and, you know, kiss him, kiss his face, kiss his body, or you could just try pressing your face against your man's chest. That is if he is the one on top and you are under him in a missionary position, or just move in for a kiss to give yourself a break from looking into his eyes when he's making love to you. Now, if you're a person who eye gazing is just too intense, especially when you're orgasming, then just maybe you can just practice during foreplay or during a less intense type of sex, all right? And also practicing romantic eye contact throughout the day can also help. And then try lowering the light to make sustained eye contact a lot easier for you. Now, some people don't do this whole eye contact with casual partners because it can spell a deeper cause of intimacy for them. And so it's only reserved for the one that they're committed to. So if you're hoping to find this with a man or a woman that you just met a few weeks ago or some days ago, you might be disappointed when they look away because they might not be there with you yet. So you might find a lot of people closing their eyes, not because they don't like you, but because they want to internalize what they're feeling, or better put, they want to internalize the feeling, the sensation that they're getting from having sex in a moment. So once you've gotten some level of practice at looking into your partner's eyes during sex, then you might just feel confident enough to turn up the heat in the bedroom by telling your partner to look at you while you're saddling him. And trust me, this can be a super sexy way to talk dirty to your man, or it can be a sexy demand if you're into that dominant stuff in the bedroom. Then when you're blowing up his cucumber, making eye contact is a game changer, I tell you, because you're telling him that you've got him in and out. He's yours and you're his. He's your master and you are at his service, and that you accept his place and role as a king over you. Now, you can take it a notch higher by asking him to look at you while he eats you out or while you're blowing him up. Trust me, you will notice a difference in how he makes love to you after, because you are establishing a deep connection when you do this. And note that it's not everyone who remembers to intentionally look at their lovers in the eye during sex. Most people just get carried away or don't even know how important and emotionally connecting this can be in a committed relationship. Now, you could also up your eye contact game by using your hand to move your man's head so that you make eye contact during sex, especially if he's focusing on other parts of your body. And then this is the one that seals the deal for me. And it's when you purposely make a point to gaze into your man's eyes while one or both of you climaxes. It has mad effects. Like, you're both panting and moaning at the edge of climax, or even climaxing at the same time, and you're not breaking the eye contact at all till he collapses over you. Do you know what that means? That energy you just transmitted, that energy that you just transmitted is magical enough to form a soul tie. Mad! You guys that are not making eye contact, you're missing a lot. So make sustained eye contact that lasts more than a few seconds, and then breathe in sync with your man while you're holding that gaze. See, it's magical when you do this. It's magical when you do this. Honestly, trust me. Try it today. For all the married people or single people, please go and be reading your Bibles. Go and be reading your Bibles or your Quran. Now, I'm going to give you some sex positions that let you lock eyes during sex if you can't get enough of, eye contact. And I would just leave them on the screen right here. I'll leave them on the screen so that you can go Google these positions and use them tonight. I am not going to put out any picture here because YouTube does not allow that. We get demonetized for that. Okay, so you've got the missionary position, you've got the cowgirl position, you've got the drill position, you've got the anvil position, you also have the spooning position. You have, I think the spooning position is face-to-face spooning position, and then you also have the face-to-face standing position as well too. So these are some of the few positions that I know that could really build that eye contact with your man. Yes, so go try it tonight and show me what difference it makes in your sexual activity. Also remember that when you're establishing that eye contact, especially when both of you are reaching your climax, even if it's one person that is reaching their climax and take for instance, you're making him come and he's about to reach his climax, or he's telling you he's about to ejaculate, make sure that you keep that eye contact with him, you know, while he's ejaculating. Or better still, you know, you are ejaculating. I say you are ejaculating. You're reaching your climax, you're climaxing, and you just hold his head so that he looks at you in the eye, and you look at him in his eyes, and you're climaxing with your eyes squinted. Is it squinted? Your eyes are squinted and you're looking at him, and you have your dirty old face. He's looking, oh, he's gonna go mad. He will never forget that picture in his head. He will never forget that picture in his head. It builds some kind of tie. It builds some kind of connection. Go and try it. I shouldn't be telling you so much. Go and try it. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for watching my content. I really do appreciate the engagement. Don't you forget to share this content. We need to build this community. Anyways, thank you so much, guys. See you on my next episode. Mwah.